Welcome, everyone. Race to Success. This is another episode, another Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific. I'm here every week. Every week, I try to change up the subject a little bit. And I think it's been going okay. We've gotten some views, we got a lot of interaction. We are live currently on Facebook, we're live on Twitter, and we're also live on YouTube. I almost forgot that one. But yeah, so my favorite, I say, platform would be Instagram, but we can't go live on Instagram. For some reason, StreamYard does not have the capability of doing that. So we're live on all the other platforms. And I want to bring today a little bit of light on passive income or leveraged income. Now, I know a lot of you that are watching may or may not be agents. And I think that it's kind of one of those things where, to the people that aren't agents, I still want to speak to you a little bit because I realize that there's probably a broader audience than just my agent group. But I initially started this channel as a service to my agents that are underneath me at eXp, to be able to coach them, to be able to give them advice on not only just, I would say, the day in and day out of becoming a real estate agent or a luxury agent in our market, but also more of a broader spectrum to where it's talking about investing and talking about how to manage money and how to kind of get where I've gotten over the years. And I wish I had a shortcut when I was 25 years old to be where I am now at a quicker rate. So I want to talk a little bit about, I guess, money in general. I think that when you think of money differently and you think about trading your time for money, which is a typical thing you see in daily life, you have a job, you're trading your time, you get a paycheck. This is how things work. I think once you kind of shift your focus a little bit and look more at the passive side of things, you can become a lot more successful. And I think that's what I've been focusing on in the last few years of my life. And I think that's really, really done well for me just because it's allowed me to have more time with my family. And as you guys know, I'm a big family man. I love being home with my kids, and I love just spending more time with Lauren. And the work side of my life is a passion, I will say. And I think when you're passionate about something, you don't feel like it's work. And real estate is that for me. I have a lot of different businesses. We have a flipping business, we have an investment business, we have a social media business, and obviously still on television here and there. So there's lots of things that I do. I think I wear a lot of different hats. And I think one of the things and keys to becoming successful is to diversify, to have multiple streams of income. I think that's paramount. I think that if you put all your eggs in one basket and something were to happen, the economy slides, or that position becomes antiquated and it gets replaced with something else, you leave yourself vulnerable. So ever since I was younger, I always did multiple things. When I was a race car driver, I always did what they call ride and drives and did manufacturer work. I also got my real estate license when I was a race car driver. I always tried to spread myself out a little bit and not focus entirely on one thing. And I did this because, well, I think it's healthy. I think it's good to have lots of different projects going on in your life, but I also think it's really smart to have different streams of revenue. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I've got a couple of comments. Good morning from New Zealand. That is amazing. That's pretty cool to know that you guys are watching out there. And we have a YouTube comment. I can click on these comments. So if you are watching along live, I would love for you guys to interact because it kind of helps me. It helps me to understand what you guys are wanting to know. And I think that really helps sort of drive into the next video or even this video, kind of the topics that are shown. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey in real estate. I would say that, a lot of you probably already know my story, and I don't want to continue to bring up my story, but I think that's important because it really shows you kind of the trajectory of my career. As you know, like I said, I love to dive into different types of ways of making money. I think when I was younger, I was kind of like a little bit of a hustler already. My dad was a really famous race car driver. And I remember like copying his signature as something that I always did. And I just loved doing that because I was like, okay, I'm going to copy his signature and then I'm going to go out and sell to fans. And that sounds terrible, but like you have to really think about this. I was 9 years old. I didn't I didn't understand what I was doing. So I did that, but my dad laughed it off and then told me not to do it once he found out. But it's just kind of an example of me always trying to think about like, okay, how can I make some money? And I always kind of thought about that even when I was really young. I think at 14, I got my first job I was a busboy. And then I worked at Pizza Hut when I was 16. And I always traded my time for money. So that was just like, and I didn't mind doing it because I really like working. But once I got a little older, I realized there was a different path and a maybe a smarter path rather than doing something just to do it to clock the hours it seems like, especially in real estate, it's a little bit of a rat race. Every year the clock restarts. My goal would be, okay, I want to sell $20 million of real estate this year. January 1st, let's go. And I would systematically, try to make that happen for myself. If I fell short, I still had a really pretty nice goal. So if I sold 15 million, I wasn't broken up about it. But January 1, the clock would restart. So then when I started investing, I really realized, okay, there's some beauty to passive income. Collecting a check for a property that you own, making a profit without doing anything other than owning the property and really aligning yourself with the right investment can really start to sort of build your wealth. I feel like there's, two different types of thinking about wealth. You think about, it in stages, like a goal per year, or you think about, okay, what can I own that can make me some more money and, bring me into the next chapter of life, which I hate to really talk about because no realtor ever really talks about it, but it's like retirement. What's going to carry you through the next phase? Could we stop working? How long would I last? Would I last 2 months? Would I last 6 months? What could my revenue stream last me until? And I think that's a really important question as a realtor or as just anyone in life is you're always kind of thinking, okay, can I do this and how long can I do it? Am I going to get burnt out? So that kind of leads me into another thing, another question. How is the house flip business where you live? Right now it's difficult. I got to say, there's a lot more to buy. Um, and house flipping is another, I probably will do a whole video on house flipping. This is more of a video about passive income and how, as a real estate agent, you can earn different streams of income. And I think that's an important thing and how to have an exit plan. So that brings me to eXp. So I was with Remax initially in 2004. I got out of real estate in 2007. I came back in 2015. So really my real estate career, I would say, really started taking off 2015 and onward. So I was with Remax. I was a platinum agent at Remax. They have these different levels. So I was, one of the highest producing agents in my office here locally. I really loved the franchise owner. His name is Howard Lean. He is a great guy. He's still around. It just wasn't the right fit for me after a while, just because I realized that there was all these sort of brokerage that were disrupting the market. And the biggest brokerage that was disrupting the market at the time was eXp. What eXp was offering was something that the traditional brokerages just didn't offer. And that was the ability to earn a leveraged income, which is an income that just continues through a couple different avenues. The one through revenue stream, and then also through their stock program. So I want to show you a couple little things, and I'm going to pull up my screen. There we go. Cool. Okay, so this is a graphic of eXp. Now, this is like a really good way to think about it. You have your brick and mortars, your blockbusters. I mean, depending on how old you are, this might not be as relatable, but there was a ton of businesses like Remax, Coldwell Banker, you name it. These big brokerages, they have the brick and mortar, they have a ton of overhead, and they're not technology based. So they're a little bit antiquated, similar with like a blockbuster to a Netflix. As soon as Netflix kind of came about, people were skeptical at first, and then it was like the floodgates open, and now there's just all you see is streaming services. There isn't really a place where you go to, you grab a DVD, and that just doesn't exist anymore. EXP has the same sort of mindset. It's more or less bringing your real estate business into this century, kind of making it so that it rewards the agents for being there. And I'm not gonna go through this whole slideshow. I just want to kind of show you the different revenue streams. The biggest thing right here is the fact that eXp started in 2009. It sort of has flowed through it. Now it's a publicly traded company. So every agent owns a little bit of equity stake in eXp when they sign up. I think this is a really key factor in knowing that why eXp agents continue to stick around. I think it's because it's like, if you think about it, if you bring somebody into a brokerage, you give them a little bit of ownership stake, that goes up and down with the stock market, but now they're really tied to the brand because they have a little bit of ownership in it. The main reason why I came over to eXp was the revenue sharing program. Now, this is a really, really interesting thing. And I know a lot of you that have researched brokerages in the past have probably stumbled upon this, but this is actually like incredible because not only can you earn leveraged income off the agents that are underneath you, you don't really have to have a lot of agents to be able to do that. There's a extremely low barrier of entry into eXp. It's $85 a month. I think it's $150 to sign up. There's no annual fee. It's technology driven. And now on top of it, you're making a little bit of extra money through the revenue share program. Let me show you how that works. So let me get through this and then I'll go back to the screen share. With me. I know it's live. I actually really like to go live because it's like it's a little different. I could put this together in like a perfectly polished way for you guys and just put it out on YouTube, but I really almost like want the interaction because I feel like that is like the best way to do it. We have somebody out of Holland. What's up? How's it going? Big international flair today, and it's really cool because eXp is also in multiple countries. They're in countries all over the world. So there's probably an eXp office in New Zealand and in Holland. And if there isn't, we can help make that happen. So here is let me jump around a little bit. So here we are to the equity opportunity. So agents become stockholders or shareholders in eXp through you earn shares on your first transaction. You have the agent equity program, which, guys, this is probably the biggest thing that kind of rocked me was the fact that I didn't really have a retirement. Agents don't really have a retirement. The agent equity program is optional. You can give 5% of your commissions to buy down the price of an EXP stock by 10%, and then you just let it sit. And honestly, it's traded on the NASDAQ. I'm not the type of person that has a lot of money into stocks. I have more money into real estate, to be honest. But this is a really amazing tool because now it's almost enabling you or actually forcing you a little bit to save, which is good. I don't really look at it, but I think I look at it maybe once. I've looked at it once since I've joined eXp a year ago. And, there's a substantial amount of money in there that I really don't even think about. And it's great because in 10, 20 years, that's my retirement plan. Like that is what I plan on using when I want to my exit out of real estate. And I feel like that is something that other brokerages don't even think about. They don't even really talk about, you know? So let me do this real quick. We have another question. So what type of personality experience does eXp look for? More experienced agents? Well, this is a really good question. So eXp, I think, had the stigma a few years ago of having a lot of new agents and a lot of agents that were selling in the non-luxury, $700,000 or below. Now, with the Icon Agent Program, this is like an incredible program. So the Icon Agent Program, essentially, let me back it up for you a little bit. So eXp is on an 80-20 split up until you hit 16,000, and then you're a capped agent. So that 16,000 is your split with eXp for your first amount of, commission checks that come into until you hit 16,000 that you've paid to eXp. Now, if you get into the Icon Agent Program, which is either 500,000 GCI, which is pretty hard to attain unless you're in an area like Scottsdale or California or New York, or once you cap and you've hit that $16,000 and you do 20 transactions, then you become an Icon agent and you can earn that $16,000 back in stock by a couple different things. You apply for the program, you get accepted, a couple different determining factors, and you have that $16,000 back in stock. So what you've essentially done is now EXP is paying you to be an agent, which is incredible. And it incentivized a lot of these top agents to come over to EXP. So a lot of the luxury agents are now there because now they can operate their business, get all the technology that EXP provides, being a cloud-based brokerage, have a very low 80-20 split. And then once they cap and they've reached 20 more transactions, they get that money back in stock. So it rewards them, and then they become what is called an icon agent, which are the top agents that we have at EXP. I myself am not an icon agent because I live in an area that's pretty affluent. So I would have to hit 500,000 GCI or have a ton of little transactions, which is really not possible here. So I'm right on the verge. I'm a month away and I'm about 3 transactions away, but we do have many people that are on our team that are icon agents. So that is the nice part to kind of, share biz with them and pick their brain. Let me see here. Northern California, how's it going? So yeah, also a little bit of side note, I am in the Good Things studio in Phoenix. So thank you guys for loaning me your space. This is pretty cool. It was a little loud at my house, as you can imagine, with the babies. So let me scroll through the revenue share program. So this is really cool because this is kind of the biggest carrot, I feel like. So revenue share, in its definition, you can earn revenue share income from sales activity of the agents that they sponsor into the company. So if I bring an agent on and they transact, I get a little piece of their commission. Now, it doesn't come from them. It comes from EXP. And I think that is the important thing to know is that when these big brokerages like Remax and Coldwell Banker, when you're splitting commissions with them, it's going to their brick and mortar. It's going to the computers at the office. It's going to all this overhead where EXP takes that split that they're splitting with their agents and divides it amongst the agents in their upline. So let me give you a little example on the next slide. So this is the rev share plan chart. This is basically saying if you have 0 to 4 agents, you earn 3.5 of the share that EXP is taking. So 3.5%, and then you have another tier. So it goes down 7 tiers. So if you bring somebody on, they bring somebody on, so on and so forth, you're getting a little piece of all those commissions, which makes it exponential, the name EXP, and that is sort of the creative genius behind it. There's a similar model at Keller Williams, but this model is only on the profit share. Now that's big difference because profit share is like whatever's left of all their expenses. Now you have this profit and then you share it. So the pie is much smaller that they're dividing. And with EXP, it is the same across the board. So the profit, there's no franchises. There's only one big brokerage, all cloud-based. And that is the biggest difference. So now let me show you this, which I think is really, really cool. This is the rev share calculator. Now, this is not an official rev share calculator from eXp. This is something that I had done. And I think this really, really, really shows you guys the kind of meat of how much potential there is to earn cash or earn leveraged income through EXP if you have multiple agents underneath you. So let's say, the average agent is selling a $350,000 house and they've sold, let's say 4 of them. I'm going to be very, very, small numbers here. Like this is like country average for the realtors. These aren't huge numbers. So let's say this is the average of all the agents that are brought in. Let's say there's 5 agents that are brought in. Actually, let's say there's 4. You calculate that out, $4,900. That's not bad actually, because $85 a month at EXP, that is $1,020. That's what it costs to be an EXP agent for a year, just over $1,000 because there's no annual fee. This is a monthly fee of $85. So if you're bringing in 4 agents and you're making $4,900, EXP is paying you to be an agent. That's incredible. Now, once this number gets bumped up to a 5, let's say they bring in, maybe just one more agent. Now it goes to 13,000. Now let's say that each one of those agents brings on an agent. 41,000. Now we're talking real money. Now this is leveraged income. This is for the year. This is leveraged income off of this chart right here. So as you can see, after I go from 0 to 4, after I get to 5, we drop down to level 2. Now if you get to 10, you drop down to level 3. So let's do 10. Let's just get bold with it. Let's say 10. Let's say you still have 5 people on level 2 and you got one person on level 3. $126,000. You bring in 10 agents. Now, I'm not saying those 10 agents have to come in your first year. This is a goal to aspire to. 10 qualified agents making X amount up there, $350,000 per transaction, just 4 of those with an average commission of 2.5% would earn you a revenue share of $126,000 a year. I kind of want to let that sit in because that's leveraged income. So as an eXp agent, let me kind of get back to on this. 3 revenue streams. Obviously your commissions, which is number 1, which should always be your priority if you're a producing agent. Then you have the revenue share plan, and then you have the stock awards. So once somebody comes into eXp, you get an award from eXp for bringing them on. And then once they transact, you also get an award. So that is like an incredible incentive too. So you're getting incentivized for bringing on a producing agent. And then you have that stock award, which is willable, which is amazing. So it's a willable, which is something that you can pass down to your kids. So you're building a legacy. You're not just building your yearly, I made 20, I sold $20 million of real estate this year. Like, congratulations. Now we have a bigger revenue stream, something that has potential to grow into the millions, to be honest. There are agents out there that make millions of dollars a year on revenue share. And that is revenue share does not just stop. It continues when the agents transact. So that is something that is what I'm aspiring to do. We have an amazing team. Our upline is probably the strongest, I'll have to say. So we have Brian Colhane, who's one of the founders of eXp, on our upline. We have Tarek El Musa, who's obviously, a television personality. He's been on tons of TV shows. He's a really, really smart businessman, also a really great house flipper. Then we have Lisa Copeland. She's like this powerhouse in Texas. She's a keynote speaker. She's very, very good at education. We have Haas Pratt, who wrote The Listing Boss. So if you join under our organization, you get the education from some of the top agents in the country 6 days a week. And I think that is invaluable too. To know that when you join eXp, you really have to be tied to somebody who can push you, because we're all invested in each other's success. So we have to really, really look at who am I going into business with. It's not just eXp. eXp is great. We have the most online education of any brokerage. We have all cloud-based. It's like you can find somebody immediately. We have an Arizona broker team. We don't have just one broker. We have a team of brokers per state. So we have so many different avenues to become successful. And I think it's because other people are invested in your success. They're going to build you up and make you the best you can be, because they have a vested interest in you. Once that agent caps, then it doesn't matter. You go to 100%. I do 3 deals in 1 year. I'm at 100%. That is it. I'm not talking about 95 or 98%. Remax, I never could get to 100%, a true 100%. There was always a catch. 5%, franchise fee, 2.5% franchise fee. So yeah. So we have some comments. Vancouver, that's cool. eXp is really big I would say, in Canada. And I'm glad that was the best decision that you made. I feel like it is for my brokerage and my business too. And it has been incredible. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, got that one. Oh, yeah, of course. All right, let me add you. Let me see. I want to show you a little bit more. This is pretty cool. The calculator is my favorite because, that's just crazy. That's like the biggest thing if you think about it. I mean, I could go into a couple different things. Okay, how many? I don't know. Maybe raise your hand if you're on the other side of this. But how many realtors are out there that don't have health insurance. I mean, this is like crazy. Like, what other job in the world can you just like not have health insurance and just health insurance is insane. It costs an insane amount of money. I think Lauren and I, with the kids, it's like $1,700 a month for health insurance. I switched to eXp's program, which is a shared group insurance program. I think it cut it in half. So that's just like, you know, a total separate, I guess, topic to talk about rather than income streams. But just like, you have to think about like, this is how I kind of view money. Like you think about all of the expenses that you have. You've got your good debt and your bad debt. You obviously, did a whole podcast on good debt and bad debt. So you have good debt and bad debt. So you have your good debt would be your, the commercial building, short-term rentals. Anytime you're borrowing money and profiting off of that money, that is good debt. That is debt that I don't count. That's debt that is working for me. You want to always have debt that's working for you. Then you have bad debt. So you have bad debt, things like credit cards, auto loans, mortgages. And then you have your monthly cost of living. So I'm like a numbers guy. So I like to really draw it all out, try to get the expenses as low as you can, try to get the bad debts as low as you can, to be able to fund more of the debt that is working for you to buy investment properties, to buy things of that nature. So we have an incredible team. We have a really great, amazing group of realtors at eXp. The education is second to none. We had this week, there's Tarek had his, and then Lisa Copeland had hers. We have a website dedicated to our agents that gets them to the right education on top of what eXp already offers, because eXp offers an amazing education on its own. But you really have to do part of yourself with the right group. Let's see if we have any more. Okay, let me just wrap this up. I'm going to show you guys a couple little things here. I'm going to bring you into the CRM that we have, which I feel like is incredible. I'm going to log into it. I'm logging in as I go. This is what happens with live. So the CRM we have is through KV Core. KV Core is something that if you were a realtor outside of eXp, you would pay up to $700 a month, I read. And obviously that's a lot of money. With eXp, you get your own IDX website, which I'll pull up actually. That's a really good one. IDX website is basically it enables people to search. Okay, so this is KV Core. This is I'm going to screen share. This is pretty cool actually. So this is KV Core. This is basically great. This links to your IDX website. People are viewing properties, as you can see. So all these leads are hot leads. You could see that this individual is searching properties. I would obviously reach out to her. The great part about KV Core, though, or the thing that I really love, is that you have all these landing pages you can build. You can build yourself a landing page that essentially you can push out on social, and it has lead generation for, I do it for agent attraction for a particular property, address capture if you're looking to maybe do a home evaluation, and you push these links out, and basically it loads it into the CRM, and then you can add a hashtag so you can search for it easily. You also have on here, on your contacts, you have your listings. You can do smart campaigns. The website you can design fully from here. So you get through this, you can do testimonials. There's like an endless amount. It's crazy. What I really love is you can do a mass text. So let's say we could text everyone here. So, you can do up to 250 individuals, and you can text them on a mass text. So this is really great. Or if you have, let's say, an open house coming up, and you have a bunch of people that have ran through your previous open houses, you can send them a text, say like, hey, we have another great property on. And this is all through KV Core, which is free with eXp. So I really love that. And then also, let me show you this real quick. This is pretty cool that you get. So, like I mentioned before, the IDX site. I should have had all these loaded. I'm so sorry. Mm, okay, cool. So here's the IDX site. This is free with eXp. This basically, you can add video or photo, and this all loads into your CRM. So if anyone is looking on this, it prompts them to put in their information. This has been something that's been really helpful for me. It has all of our listings right here, has the company listings. And this is really, really great, especially if you have a larger following, because you can really have people go here and it'll just plug it right into your CRM. And this is free. I think before I was paying probably $120 a month to run a similar website. And that is like one of the benefits of joining eXp, because you do get the benefit of having that. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that is basically it for today's broadcast. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit, multiple streams of income through eXp, making sure that you're earning a leveraged or passive income to become successful and wealthy and can have a sustainable wealth. And if you guys want any more information, I'm going to drop in a Typeform link on the bottom if you want to join our group. And I'm just going to close it out with a couple little comments here. Thank you so much, Lynn. I'm really happy that you guys follow us along. And yeah, my kids are so cute. I'm going to go home to them and squeeze them right now. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate real estate's my passion. So it's really cool that you guys are following along what I do on a daily basis. And hopefully I'll see you guys next week at 12 p.m. Pacific. Bye.